just don't want to burn to death, that's all.
Yeah, they'll get out.
It'll get out, will it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, they will. Yeah. We've got 12 rabbits running out of there. So.
Oh, do duck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh. I'll just leave that there. Once it gets to there, I'll put it out.
Yeah, no, thanks, yeah. They're
bloody
pests,
aren't they?
Oh, they are a nuisance.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't, we asked the council, you can't spay them.
No.
Because of the creek.
Yeah.
So how the hell do you ever do anything with them?
Yeah, that's right.
And it comes down easy when you burn them. Now I'll be able to slash with the tractor now, because we've got tractors that slashes, but if you don't have a slasher, you're stuck.
Yeah. Did you want them cut up as well?
Up to the top there.
Just that.
Oh, that there? Yeah, if you want to burn that down, that's fine.
I might do that once this has calmed down and it's all sorted here. That won't go anywhere there. I can just have it sitting here and line it up quickly for you.
Yeah,
we'll do it while we're going. So.
Yeah, I just hope that fox gets out.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
She ran straight out here.
Yeah.
And I stupidly yelled, and then it went straight back in. I should have shut up.
I'm nearly going to. I'll be flying out of there very shortly. So. I'm just going to go check over here.
Yep. These are burns quick, don't it?
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it, really do.
Well, it's good under a controlled circumstance, but Jesus, you wouldn't want it to be out of control. Boom. Oh, I got set on fire when I was a youngster. I got put on a log after a bath. I was about 3 years old. The log had fire underneath it. It caught my whole leg on fire. I got severe burns. It's only a little scar now because it's only like my leg was only that big at the time. But ever since that happened, I'm petrified of fire. I know what it does. I mean, that was only a small burn. But geez, when you... I hope it's gone out. Could it have gotten away?
Would have gone by now.
Yeah, I hope so. It just went... Where that fire's already burned, it was in there.
Yeah, it would have gone out by now.
Surely it would be not worrying about what we're doing. It would just go past us, but it had to get out. It looked like it had fire like it looked a bit black on the back end. I don't know if it was in the third ring. Might have got a bit burnt. Seemed a bit disoriented. Oh well, if it does catch fire, it'll just have to be quick. With hope. That's the trouble with the blackberries. Everything lives in them.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably some snakes in there too. Yeah, don't mind them going.
No. Yeah, that's right.
They're actually good eating. If you don't eat the top end of them, if you eat the back end of them and stuff, the snake's nice.
Yeah, right.
Had it years ago.
That's great.
Oh, be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very slick down here.
Mind you, this dude can do pretty much anything. On the polo horse and everything else, it's crazy. Do you ride?
Oh, I do a bit, not much.
I'm petrified of riding. I still do it. Break the daughter's horse in, then I'd come off her. She got hit by a wasp while I was on her, and it took me about 6 months for my knee to get better. Didn't break anything, no, I was lucky.
Yeah, right.
But it's a dangerous thing, riding.
Go have a look over here. What it's called.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, very scary,
Oh, that sure. Golly, that really saves us from having to cut all the stuff down. Great. You're doing a great job. Thank you. That's terrific. Wow. Saves me about probably 24 hours worth of work just with a bush hog. I'll be out here probably all week. Thank you so much. Okay, yep, no worries. I'll get the gate for you whenever you're ready. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. So welcome everybody. We're just out here today. Hey everybody. Hey Captain Life. Hey Captain, or sorry, Mr. Cooper. We're getting some stuff burned off for today. And yeah, it saves me a hell of a lot of work. So I'm real happy. It's good. Okay, we got some comedians on the channel. Am I starting wildfires again? Nope. We're doing a controlled burn off. And I'm real happy because it's saving me a whole lot of work. It's good to have good neighbors that'll come around and help with these kind of things. Oh yeah, controlled burns are good. Hey Grimy. Hey Ramon. Since ages ago, how are you? Sean's non-existent hairline. I'm in the same boat myself, Sean. Tow Truck Johnny, how you going? MZ, Mr. Cooper. We got John Luke Baker. Hello everybody. This is good because it saves me a whole lot of work. I would have been out here probably all 3 weeks trying on that bend there. And it's just very handy to be able to have access to that bend. So I'm very, very, very appreciative. Jason, do I believe that the world is flat? Well, sometimes I think it might be. And other times, I don't know what to believe. So good. Now you can see this little bend over here is where I've been digging years prior for a bit of gold, and so there's gold all along that little bend there. And we're going to be able to have access to that again very soon. It's really, really good. I'm very happy to have all that. It's really good. It's beautiful. So how do we keep it controlled? We'll have these fantastic neighbors here. They're with the Rural Fire Service, and they are fantastic. They are extremely good at what they do, and I think without our Rural Fire Service, we would be very lost in this town because they do an amazing service to everyone here. And about a year ago, they actually saved the entire town because we had someone that was doing a barbecue up on the hill way back over there, and it nearly actually caused the entire town to go up in smoke. But you know, Rural Fire Services was on it just like that, and they had everybody out here looking after it, and they got that fire shut down, and it was in the middle of the night. It was the most terrifying thing, and they took care of it. They took care of it, and they're just fantastic. There they go over here. They're gonna get more of that creek taken down, which reveals more of the places where I'm able to actually get over there and do some test panning and that sort of thing. No, I'm not sure if they're actually volunteer or not, but they are definitely professional in what they do. And here they go. They're gonna go ahead and lock off one part of it over on this end, and I'm so thankful. So T.W. Rourke thinks that the world is round, not flat. Well, I think you might be right about that, T.W. There we go. Doing a fine job. Excellent work. All that taken down. And all this is kind of it can be a bit scary, especially if you've been burnt before. I've never been burnt before. How much? Yeah, that's right. What I'm going to do is these over here through, and I'll poison them, and but that saves me about probably 2 weeks worth of work. Thank you so much. Yeah, yep. Fantastic. Okay. Which one?
The younger one. He looks like Tom next door.
Oh.
It's not Tom, but he looks like Tom.
Yeah. It could be Tom's son. Does Tom have a son?
He's got little kids.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
his brother or something, eh?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are related out here too. So
Yeah.
older families.
Well, it's good that they got some acknowledgement too about the fire in the town. Because, hey everybody. Looks like it's still burning over there though. Pretty crazy. Huh. Welcome everybody. I really do appreciate you all being here. Today, at some stage, I want to talk about the gold trommel. And a few of you have kind of asked me, you'd like to build one of your own, and I want to give a shout out to Nomadic Gold King, not God King, not Gold King, Nomadic God King, for the inspiration behind the talking about the trommel today. So we're going to get to that in a little bit, but I think today I kind of want to just hang out with you guys a little bit. We got a fire going here, and that's just a burn off that needed to happen for a long time. We've got blackberries all along the creek line, and it's just been very hard for me to get close enough to the gold to actually process it. So it's pretty crazy. So it's finally going up in smoke now, which is good. It'll give me access to the bend that I've been working for about probably 2 or 3 years. Fenezes. Welcome. Brazil. Is it cold in Brazil at the moment, or is it hot, or how's the weather down there? I think it's time to make some new tea. My tea has gone pretty yuck now. I've had it in here for about probably a week or so, so probably time to make a new batch. I appreciate it, everyone being here. Very hot in Brazil. Okay, that's good. I'm guessing that's a good thing. I'm hoping it's a good thing. I prefer warm weather. I think warm weather is more my thing these days. Yeah. Well, that's good. I hope you're doing well. And it's very hard to pronounce your name. Fenezes. Very good. We have Brantley's YouTube channel. How are you, Brantley? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Brantley. It must be Brantley. I'm fourth tier dyslexic. Like there's your normal dyslexic down here. I'm at the top rung. So Brantley, awesome. How's Brantley going today? What's going on in Brantley's world? Just eating a lemon. Whew, let's have a look over here. Got some stuff going on. There's some smoke happening down there. And we just got to kind of keep an eye on the fire a little bit. Nothing. Well, you know what, Brantley? Sometimes when you got nothing going on, that's the best of times. Because when we got nothing going on, it gives us time to reflect and to understand ourselves a bit better and our goals and what we want to push forward towards. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're having a nothing day, Brantley, because nothing days are some of the best days we can possibly have. Why is my silence so loud? I don't know. That is very poetic. Why is my silence so loud? I'll have to think about that one. Because silence is so much louder than words, is it? Fenezes. My name is Felipe Menzes. So I put both names together and it's Fenezes. That's brilliant. Very clever. Do I like bluegill fishing? Rock Skipper 101. I went fishing one time when I was a kid and I caught a little brim, and that was it. I never caught anything after that, and basically I tried to go fishing once again and somebody laughed at me, and yeah, fishing's not my thing. Sorry. Do you like fishing? Bluegills. I'm not even sure what a bluegill is. I'm pretty hopeless. We got SMKA. Have a nice day from Brazil. Well, right back at you, SMKA. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. We have, I can't pronounce your name. You got glasses on, Mr. Glasses Man. I might be able to read your name if I put my glasses on. Here we go. Let's try it. CPBE3HO. I don't know what to call you. Should you give up your seat to elders even if it's a seat on someone else's? Oh, come on now. We don't roll like that in here. If you keep that up, I might have to time you out, buddy. This is a family-friendly place, right? You know? Let's try and keep it that way. What time is it here? Sales Iconique. I think it's about probably 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock maybe. Yeah, Rock EM. How you going? Jordan Thompson wants to sell me a fidget spinner. Now, why would you want to sell me something like that? I had one of those and I lost the damn thing. I wouldn't have a clue where it is now. We got Nate Steinman says, I like fishing. I'm Mr. Glasses Man. Bluegill is a type of bream. Okay. I think I can take my sunnies off. Okay, so we got Robert O'Neill says, hi, how you going? Russian letters. Oh, he's back in. Okay, cool. I came to Goon. Reggie says he came to Goon. Oh, I'm so far down on these comments. I'm going to try to speed through. Let's see if we can read all these real quick. I came to Goon. Hula amigo. Fenezes. Robert O'Neill. Same as seriously. No more. What am I doing? Okay. We don't roll like that. He going to go wild buck on you, son. I only did that once. And, but I did it. I did it at the wrong person because I didn't understand what they were saying to me and what they actually meant. And if Nomadic God King comes back on here, he can tell you. He's a great guy. He's got a great channel and very smart individual. So shout out to Nomadic God King. Okay, let's keep reading here. What are we doing? Give your seat up. We got so many comments coming in. Gooner, help. You look like a conspiracy theorist, Daniel. I probably do. I got my tinfoil cap on, and I'm just kind of rambling at random stuff. Okay. You thought for a second I wasn't speaking English. You guys are fantastic. I'm sorry about earlier. Robert O'Neill. Oh, that's okay, man. That's all right. You know, it's funny because I think sometimes everybody misbehaves a little bit and everybody just, gets ahead of themselves and they want to stir up a bit of shit and stuff. I've been a troll as well. Everybody, to a degree, has something funny to say, but it's all good. As long as we keep it at a bare minimum, Okay, what do we got? Hi from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shylenda Nicholas. We got Vinny says, where are you? Autocorrect. Poison says, I have Tourette's. I can't control my words. Oh, come on. Now, I see what you did there. Where are you? Shout out to... Oh, we got a lot of people coming in. How do you feel about the heavy metals in the fish that we eat usually? I think it's terrible. All the mercury that goes into the creek and, all the waterways and stuff, and it's just terrible. It's an awful thing. Can I eat a peach? Jordan Thompson. I remember you from the other day. Cool, man. You can eat a peach. I'm sure you can. Oh, I've got so many people coming in. Hello. Doing amazing. Everyone's here. We got Goon Life. We got Ayushman Panedi said hi. We got Reggie. I'm trying to grab that man. What? I'm trying to grab that man. You're trying to grab that man meat? Now, are we talking like hamburgers? We're talking hamburgers, right? Like hamburger meat. You're not being disgusting on here. I hope not. Okay. I really am nice, but please don't say fish. I will crash out. Where do you live? We got fish. I think I'm all caught up with the comments now. Well, welcome everybody. I'm glad that you're all here. Yeah. I don't know what any of that means. All right, cool. It's dark where you are. Am I eating? I'm definitely eating a lemon. I'm about halfway through it too. I'm gonna try and eat the rest of it. And it's hard to do this with one hand. People in the comments, please be more disgusting. Oh, now Nate, let me tell you something. Don't feed the trolls, because if you feed the trolls, I might have to put you in timeout for a little bit, and that won't be fun, will it? I don't know. I want to keep this a decent channel, you know. It's all right. We all got to learn. It's dark where you are, Robert O'Neill, bro. We got stuff with Aiden. Where are my moderators at? Where's my moderators at? Come on now. All right, Jordan, I'm going to make you a moderator. Because I think you're pretty I think you're pretty on the ball with who's being a troll. Let the man eat his lemon. Thank you. We got stuff with Aiden, who's copying and pasting stuff from the internet. I just want to eat my damn lemon. I'm not a complicated human being. Here's an idea. I will, and I indeed will. Lemons for life. Yes. Here's an idea. Let's go ahead and pull this trommel out and get back to what we're actually supposed to be doing. Because I don't want to waste anybody's time. You know, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want to get to the real stuff and just enjoy my lemon and talk to you guys about gold for a little bit. Because gold is important. Gold makes the world go round. You want me to eat the peel, Nate? And there's another channel that you can go to for that kind of stuff. And it's this guy that looks like Michael Myers. He's got a Michael Myers mask on. And you can pay him to do random shit like that. Unfortunately, I'm not Michael Myers. I'm not going to eat the lemon peel for you. I don't care how much you pay me. So go find Michael Myers' channel and maybe talk to him about that. He might eat a lemon. Anyway, let's go and get this gold trommel and bring it out. Okay. Gone into the scary shed. Oh, I can actually see everybody now. Robert, you one time caught a 10-pound catfish. Lucky you. Wow. I'm surprised you can eat a lemon by itself. Eat the rest in one bite. Alrighty now. So now, I was supposed to come on here and talk about the Trommel. And y'all got me talking about worldly events. What's going on in New York City? I did enough eating a freaking lemon. Well, I'll tell you something. The older one gets, the more you have to salt your food, the more you have to season your food, and the more you've got to, I guess, eat lemons to taste much of anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to talk about gold. Good point. Jordan Thompson. Who am I? What's going on? Who do I have to ban? Okay, cool. All right. We got a moderator in the house. Robert, how do you feel about becoming a moderator? Do you think that's something you want to do? Because if you're ready for it, I'm ready to hand over that wrench, right? I will hand over the wrench, and you can be a moderator. What? That's looking like you had in Mexico. Oh my God, no. Don't do that crap. That destroys lives. That shit destroys entire communities and lives. Don't do that. Why can't you just like plant some flowers or something? Man, don't do that. Hand over the gold. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll show you some gold in a minute. But Robert, I think you might be ready for the wrench. So I'm gonna give it to you now. You got standard moderator. There you go. Simple as that. Enjoy. With great responsibility comes, yeah, that thing. We got Roscoe and friends. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? The only ones show us the gold. Turbulence transproduction. I even had the exact tool. That's fantastic. Now, I'm excited, but I want to eat this lemon. I want to eat the rest of the lemon, but I got to peel it. Everybody wants me to eat the damn. Everybody wants me to eat the damn lemon peel, and I'm like, that's a little bit too zesty for me. So let's see if we can peel this monker back. And I think I'll consume the rest of it that way. And I just stuck that in a metal shaving, so I've got a metal shaving seasoned lemon. Alrighty. Well, maybe I can just it's an acquired taste. What the hell am I? You guys are distracting the shit out of me. What was I doing? We got Sean Caddy. We got Dennis McCauley. Strong immune system. Yes, exactly. Fantastic. Have we got some? Who else wants to become a moderator? Who wants the wrench? Who else wants the wrench? The wrench of power, the wrench of great responsibility. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll keep an eye on it. And I'll get my water pump ready too. Okay, so Dennis McCauley. So I just came in. You about the wrench? What does it do? What does the wrench do? The wrench is a title of power which enables you to remove some unsavory people from the chat for a sometimes indefinite amount of time. So yeah, but the more support people show, the more I'm going to hand out these wonderful wrenches to you all. Because I think I might need some mods. Gary Thompson has 80% of power on his phone, so he wants me to hurry the hell up. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to show you some gold. I've been in your situation before. I know what it's like to have 8% on your phone. So, let's go find the gold. And I'll be trying to read all these comments as I'm going along. Where is the gold, by the way? I've got a lighter in my pocket, even though I don't smoke. The hell that's for? Oh yeah, because I'm trying to keep the house warm. What have we got? Ooh. Do. Hurry the duck up. Oh. You guys are powerful motivators. Let me tell you. Go easy on me. All right, let's go find this gold. Somebody got 5%, somebody got 8% on their phone. All right, who? You are out of here, buddy. You're out of here for good. I'm kicking you out of here for that. We don't do that shit here. Hell no. I'm gonna hide you on the channel. You are gone, motherfucker. Nobody be dropping the fucking N-bomb here. Do that shit, you're gone, buddy. Okay. Where is the gold? Well, folks, the gold is right here. Now let's go and see how we actually go and look at the gold. Where am I from? I am from planet Earth, my friend. Where are you from? Robert's got to go. Do I farm gold? You gonna hurt yourself? You know, sometimes I stub my toe on this stuff and I do hurt myself. Not today. Show me the money. Who remembers that movie? I don't remember that movie, but you, I guess you do. Queens of the World. Yeah, hey, Turbulence. I've got a question for you. Do you want a wrench? Do you want one of those wonderful wrenches that enables you to time out unsavory people on the channel? Because if you do, I'll give you one. How much is an ounce now? That's a good question. Oh, okay. But I mean, what I mean to say is, do you want to be a moderator? It's a very tough job. But it's something that can help me out greatly. Your uncle got killed by a bison when hunting bison in the country. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Bison are pretty formidable creatures. They're terrible. But they got to live, you know. I guess they got to trample somebody. Oh, that's terrible. You know, fuck me. I'll get trampled now for that. My apologies. Just over $3,300. Okay, now we got to show this gold because people's phones are like on 1%, they're on 2%, and they're going, what the hell's wrong with this dude? Just show me the fucking gold. Nate Steinman, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope you're not trolling, but that's terrible. Nobody should ever feel like they have to do that to themselves. All right, okay. We got Mike Murphy. We got somebody who retracted their message on here, which is HW. Somebody knows black magic. We got Linda that says thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at the gold quickly. Everybody's phone's dying. Nobody can get to a power bank. All the Teslas are breaking down. Let's have a look at this gold before everybody has a conniption. All right, you ready? Here we go. Now, hang on a minute. I'm not just going to show you just yet. You still got 30 seconds left on your phone. Okay. Now, folks, this stuff here is what we're hunting. This is what we are on the prowl for. And let me take you out here for a little bit. I'm going to show you in a moment just some of the places where we're finding it. But we've got to make this machine to actually get it up out of the ground, right? To get this much in a little span of time takes a lot of work, takes a lot of panning. But see, I'm getting old now. My hands, my knees aren't what they used to be. And we've got to make a machine that's going to be able to get a whole lot more of that stuff. And that's what we're going to do. All right? That's the whole point of this whole stream. All right? It's beautiful. It's valuable. That's probably, what, 0.7 of a gram. That's not even a gram yet, people. But this is what we want to be getting. Getting some today, maybe tomorrow, the next day. But we want to really push forward to make this machine that's going to help us, right? Because I haven't been able to divine the powers of telekinesis yet to drive gold out of the ground by power of mere thought. I am working on that, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. So we have to use the old-timey method of using a shovel and a pan, and hopefully we're going to get this trommel running for you guys to see. But that's the gold, people. I hope everyone's gotten a good look at that, because it's my pride and joy, and there's more down there as well. So this is what gold looks like. This is what we call alluvial gold. And there is much of it to be had. Now, one thing is, people seem to think that gold is found everywhere. But that is not the case. It's not the case at all. If gold was found everywhere, then it wouldn't be as valuable as it is. Do you see what I mean? I'm going to read some comments. I was rambling there for a little bit. Let's go back and let's read some of these comments. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Okay. All right, so Turbulent says, can I know why everybody speaks about gold? And I'm just going to read through these. Just over 23,000, actually, says Igloo. I bet you at 5%, says DJ. Well, I'm from Jamaica. It was nice stopping by, and I subbed. Thank you very much. Going panning while at White River tomorrow, says Tyler. Carl, very cool. Linda, we got Carl again. Linda and Mike Murphy. I'm fully charged, but I'm fully interested in this, says Mike Murphy. Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you so much. A good Saturday morning from Helsinki, Finland. All right, I do practice ceremonial magic as well. Okay, cool. This got a lot of comments on here. There's so much to read here. I'm not a real person. I'm AI. I think Nate is a bit of a joker. I don't mind you joking, Nate. Just keep it PG, if you know what I mean. This is supposed to be a family restaurant, right? All right, so serious question Mike Murphy has. I have retina detachment in both eyes, going blind. Could I do this? Mike, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. That's pretty heavy stuff. I would say to you, do everything and anything that you possibly can while you can. And I wouldn't have a clue what you're going through right now with that. That would be a scary freaking thing to have to go through. So my heart goes out to you. And I hope that you can get them reattached if that's something that you can do. Yeah, but do anything and everything you can every day. Get out there and make sure whatever you can do, get firing on all pistons, you know, on all cylinders. Get out there and do whatever you can. Everybody, you know, and try to inspire somebody every day as well. You know, you don't want to just keep that energy inside you. You want to put it outwards to other people. And good vibes, you know, good vibes, positive vibes. I'm broke and I need some gold, says Gary. How many dollars is that worth, Nate asks? Well, in there at this point in time, 0.7 of a gram, maybe not even 0.7 that is. I could probably, here where I am, maybe get $100 for it. Maybe 150. But what you have to count for is the purity of the gold. This is very pure gold. It's some of the purest I've ever seen. Beautiful stuff. You have to account for what the market is like in your specific area. And if you find yourself a gold buyer that is happy to pay for it and that trusts you, you have to develop a sense of trust with your target audience and your buyers. You know, if they don't trust you that your gold isn't pure, nobody's going to want to buy it. You know, but how do you break into it? How do you actually get someone to buy your gold? Well, you just got to put it out there. You know, you got to put it out there and be honest and say, look, this is what it is. It took me a lot of work to get this stuff, and you just have to hope that someone is going to give you a chance. That's how most things are in life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So that's kind of how it is. So anyway, I'm rambling. There's so many people have so many more questions and things. And I think we have a few people tuning in from yesterday. We got Linda, we got Rudy. We got people talking in amongst themselves. Let's see the gold again. Let's have a look at that. I think people get tired of looking at my face. So let's have a look at this gold. And what we'll do too is later on, can I say hi to my brother from Senyas? Lou Senyas. Hello, Lou Senyas. How are you going? Hi. Fantastic. Okay, everyone. So this is what we've got. This is pretty much 100% pure alluvial gold. And we want to make a machine that's going to help us get this stuff a whole lot quicker than panning, right? And that's the point of this whole stream. We got the whole thing there. Very cool. But, you know, we made the machine, but we got to refine it a little bit. You know? We got gold-bearing materials in here. Still. Is left in the trommel from it running a few days ago. But it's all about balance, and it's all about knowing where to start. So the next stream that we do, which might be sometime later today, if you guys want to come back, charge your phones, then what will happen is I'm going to show you step by step and talk about some of the working principles behind the Trommel. Because I want to say one thing. I'm not rich. I don't have a whole lot of money to build shit. I come from a very poor background. And a lot of the time, when you come from a poor background, you have to find whatever the hell it is you can find to throw together to make whatever the hell it is you can make. And that's what this thing is about. This is in the spirit of, I'm not just some rich person who's got money to throw away on a Trommel. I got to make this myself. I've got to find stuff on to throw out, you know, to throw all this stuff together to try and make it work. So that's the spirit now, you know. We are in very desperate times where people cannot afford to buy new. People are doing pay in fours. They're doing afterpay and all this other stuff. It's like, you know, this is what we're at. This is where we're at. The economy's getting ready to collapse. So how are we going to make the riches again to feed back into the economy to get things started again? It's going to be the little people like me, like you, that's going to get out there and going to find this gold, and it's going to make things good, you know, improve your own life, you know. If you don't care about the economy, well, at least you can improve your own life. But you've got a means to do it. And even if you don't have the means to build the Trommel, this is your best gold detector that is ever invented. And I don't mean that as a joke. The gold pan is the greatest ever. Throughout millennia, it's been the gold pan that's found the most gold. Not any of this other stuff, right? We know this. You know this. So anyway, I'm kind of on a philosophical rant now. I'm going to get away from that, but be sure and tune back in, guys. If you want to learn how to build a Trommel yourself, and see my other videos too, where we've actually ran this, pretty hilarious as well. But if you want to do one yourself, stick around, because later today I'm gonna get on that, and it's gonna be a pretty wild stream. Let's read some comments. You guys have been so fantastic. Thank you all so much for being here. You are fantastic. And even the trolls. Now, also, keep in mind, I'm going to be going back through. I'm going to be reading all of this chat. And those of you who have been kind of, shall we say, less than supportive, that's pretty naughty. But those of you who have supported and who are really interested in gold, I'm going to be giving you, where is it at? I lost my wrench. I lost my supplies of wrenches. You want that wrench, because that wrench is going to give you the ability to time somebody out. Oh, here we go. We got it right here. So I'll be going back through the chat. And people who are supporting, I'm going to offer you one of these. And you're going to get to support the channel. You're going to get to help me out. And it's going to be awesome. And you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy the power trip. So, that's cool. All right, let's read some more comments. We've got some Donald Trump supporters in here. Now, I don't want to get political, guys, but I mean, you know, Donald Trump's not being that transparent, is he? It's a little bit concerning. It's more than a little bit fucking concerning, you know? I'd be like, just fucking release the list, you know? You got nothing to fucking hide, put it out there. Common fucking sense. Anyway. Okay, we got some other comments. People who find gold ask the same questions to you. What's going on? You guys, this is going so quick, it's hard for me to process. TDS. So when they don't get you gold, are you going to tell them? Is it Trump's fault? That's funny. You got an Aussie twang. I do have an Aussie twang. I sure do. I've been here for a long time. And yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. And you know something? Only within the last 10 years have I gotten to the stage where I'm actually finding gold. It's taken me a very long time. Very, very long time. A learning curve. It's been an emotional curve. It's been a financial curve as well. And I've had a hell of a lot of help and support, you know, from my ex-wife. I've had a lot of support from many people over the years, and I've gained a lot of confidence and a lot of how do you say a lot of injuries. But oh, what do we got here? We have some more questions. Fantastic, very good, sir, Maria. Thank you. Okay, we got Master X, Master Link, panning for pyrite. You know, actually, that's a good question. We don't really get a whole lot of pyrite here, Master Link. It's funny, but you think we would, but we don't have to deal with that here. We don't have to deal with pyrite. So everyone that's in North America, my heart goes out to you guys because you do. You have to deal with that, and you know. I don't even have to deal with the black sand, because black sand is also something that you guys have to deal with. Very fine black sand that will carry the gold out of the sluice. I've yet to see it. I'm hoping to see it soon, because I think that would be very interesting and a very good learning curve. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So the list is really the most important thing in our politics. Okay, we got Mike Murphy saying, I don't know if you answered my question or not, hit the wrong button and went back, but do you think it's too late to buy gold? No, I don't think it's too late to buy gold. I think buying gold now is probably what you want to do and invest in, and you probably want to hang on to it because the way the world is going, gold might be the only currency that is viable. And I'm sorry to say that, but you know, back in early times, if you look back thousands of years, you know, dating back to the very beginning, gold was it. And gold is pretty much forever. Diamonds are forever, gold, diamonds. So yes, invest in gold if you can. If you can get your hands on some gold, and if you can get it maybe a little bit cheaper. But, I mean, honestly, when I think about it, too, if I was buying gold myself, and sometimes I've wanted to buy gold, but I've got gold, you know. But I thought to myself, I wouldn't, knowing what I know now about prospecting, about digging for gold, the entire process, I wouldn't want to talk anybody down for their gold because I know what goes into it. I know the pain and suffering that goes into finding this stuff. Even that little bit of gold here. Come on back. Even finding that little bit there, the amount of pain and suffering involved can be immense, especially if you're trying to find it on your own. So definitely, you know, support your local prospector, because they're the people out there that are still going in and finding this stuff when, you know, the government mines, I mean, they'll go through and get all the big stuff, but we're still here. We're important. So yeah, support us and become a prospector, you know, and learn about the process. You know, if you've got things like social anxiety, or if you've got post-traumatic stress disorder, or things like that, it can help you greatly, because what it does is it connects you and it grounds you back to the earth, right? When you're sitting behind a computer all day, or you're in an office somewhere, or you're having to work on things that are just removing you from nature, you become detached and you become less connected with the world, with reality, and things like that. It's just terrible. But gold is one of the things that got me out of the studio and onto a river system, on a creek system, on the top of a hill, out detecting, out in nature, and giving me a sense of place and purpose, and grounded to the world, you know. So definitely invest in gold, and invest in us, invest in the prospectors, and invest in the process, you know, invest in the dream, because one day it might simply be that that's all there is. That's all that any currency will be. And we'll go back to a barter system as well, you know. The financial institutions may all collapse, and what's going to happen then? You know, how are people going to, it'll go back to the Wild West pretty much. So, good question. I took a little bit too long on that, and there's probably several people who've written entire theses on this now and have published it by the time I've scrolled down to the bottom of the screen. So I missed out on that opportunity. Got people asking me where I am. I'm on planet Earth, Richard. I'm on planet Earth. Thank you so much for answering my question, because I was having second thoughts of buying gold because it went up so high. You know, yes, exactly. Well, I think you're making the right choice, Mike. I think you're making the right choice. Okay, so Jordan Thompson's out. He'll be back later. Fallout Seasons 5. Okay. That's pretty cool. I've got a really good room full of people here. So, and I'm not even sure if any of my previous audiences come back, because we've got a few things here. We've got a few people here that are really, really into this stuff. So, all right, while we're here, and while I'm kind of in the mood to talk about it, let's talk about the Trommel. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, stop being a total narc here, and let's just go ahead and just let's have a look at what is that. Well, that is the sound of working. You know what all this stuff is here? All this stuff is what we call tailings. And my tailings right now are actually getting stuck to the inside of our screen. This is a screen. What's the screen attached to? The screen is attached to something called a centrifuge. Now, what is this for? What is the centrifuge for? Well, the centrifuge is to collect the gold-bearing material and have it in here, churning around like a washing machine, and breaking up the fine clays and liberating the gold from the clay and dirt and mud and other rocks. But also, it's here to retain water so that we can wash that thoroughly and not just simply have gold and rocks just flushing right through. That's what this ring is for. I'll be talking a lot about that. What are these things for, you might ask? These things are paddles. And what that does is it takes all this stuff down here and it paddles it up, just like in a front-loading washing machine. And it breaks up and it helps grind the rocks and material against itself to be able to liberate the gold. That is the end goal, is to liberate the gold from the clays and other materials. What happens when we come to the screen, you ask? What happens when we come to the screen is, basically, that will classify the material. So then we get stuff like this, hopefully falling through the screen like this, collecting at the bottom of our trough, just over here. And then the process of the water continually flushing over that will flush it down here onto a mat. Do you see that? Now, I could be talking about this all day and nobody would understand what the hell I'm doing or what I'm talking about because they can't see what's happening. So how do we fix that? I'm a very visual person. I have to be able to see what the hell someone's talking about to fully grasp it. So I'll tell you what, I wasn't going to do this right now, but we're going to go ahead. I'm going to hook up the battery and we're going to switch it on and I'm going to let you guys see how this thing actually works. And we're going to quickly read some comments. Do I have a certain time? Let's see. Do I have a certain time to come home or do I come on at random? You answered people's questions. Ah, okay. So yeah, I'm trying to make these streams to be a regular thing, but sometimes it just I get caught up in life and I have to do some other things. But yeah, I want to try and come on here, if not every day, then maybe every other day. So I'm hopefully I can be of assistance on a regular basis. I do appreciate that. So we've got YHH, so hard work, haha. Okay. I think that's probably maybe supportive, maybe satirical. That's okay. I got Igloo7 says, I know your place. Oh, I know yours too. Yeah, I can actually see what you're doing right now. I have an entire network of computers that can see into your house right now, Igloo. So thank you. All right. All right, so we got Creeping Dummy says, yo, what's good? How you going? What are you doing, says Creeping Dummy. I'm trying to find some gold. Okay, so we got Sailor CB says, hi. How you going? Okay. Kent Daly says, finally something informative and cool. Most people are just sitting there expecting attention and fame. Kent, you have a very good point that you made there. And there's a whole lot of content that's on YouTube that is pretty much mind rot. So I want to thank you for that, for acknowledging that. I really do feel like I'm trying to put forth something of value and substance. I appreciate your comment. Thank you. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a wrench just for that one because I think that's fantastic. So you are now one of our moderators. Thank you very much, Kent. Okay, so we have Sailor says, I'm an engineer too. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. We got Jordan. Welcome back, Jordan. Jordan Thompson, you're a tool maker. Fantastic. We need tool makers. I try to make tools, but I'm not very good at it. And I actually need a few, so I might ask you some questions throughout these streams. We got Igloo7 says, I'm understanding your mindset. Okay, so you weren't trolling Igloo. Okay, that's good. I'm glad. I thought for a second you might be trolling me, but that's okay. So we've made an understanding. You understand my mindset. Well, that gives me some kind of insight to your mindset as well, because if you're interested in gold and the process of finding it, that's what I'm all about. So thank you. Okay, so we got Creeping Dummy says, cool, engineers and I don't mix. Exactly. I would prefer to design and build my own stuff. Yep. Exactly, Jordan. You are absolutely right about that. Absolutely right. But we definitely still do need the engineers because if it wasn't for the engineers, we wouldn't wind up with stuff like this. This is one of the most awesome pieces of gear that has ever been created, and one of the most important. It's a tractor, and this is extremely viable and very, very important. So yes, absolutely. Okay, so what is that contraption behind me? Well, Jim, I'm about to talk about that, and thank you so much for tuning in because we're about to actually turn this contraption on. I think that's the contraption you were talking about. Is there another? Hang on, where was this thing? You know what that is. Thank you, Creeping Dummy, for subscribing. I do appreciate that, and I salute you. Building one's own stuff is very important. Yes, yes. You know what that is. I think that's what you're referring to. Or it might have been, where was the stand? Yeah, that's a drum. Yeah, you're talking about the trommel. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Wait, the drum or that thing? Hang on. I know. I'm just messing with you. So we're gonna turn this on now. I'm gonna stop floating around like an idiot. And oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Was I in the military? No. Sometimes I feel like I have been in the military, though. Sometimes I feel like I might have, maybe in a previous life, been in the military, or maybe seen action at some stage. I do have my own set of PTSD things, but nothing like what a soldier would endure, or anyone who's seen combat or action, or has been in that arena. So, my utmost respect to you if that's any one of you. Okay, so we got fire that baby up and show us some gold. Cool. I'm going to definitely do that. Thank you very much, Master Link. We've all got PTSD. Yes, we indeed do. What I said is a fact, and I tried drainage sand and got some gold. Hey, that's really good. I'm going to inch my way towards the battery while I'm reading these comments. It's over there. I'm glad I found you, my man. I'm minded so much on this. This is a very educational. I'm glad you're doing something like this on YouTube instead of poor cunts like. Oh, I just said the word. Somebody take one of those wrenches and just time me out. I don't want to say the C word. You're right. So the poor C. See you next Tuesdays, like everybody else. Okay. Only 13, so I'm not it. Creeping dummy. Yeah, that's cool, man. But look, it's more of an adult-related channel. Sometimes I'll say the F word, so just mind the F word, and yeah, it. Hopefully, the room will just be a nice, supportive room. I don't want anybody to get picked on. Okay, cool. So, what area are you in? I gotta get this battery, guys. There's so many comments coming in. How long have you been doing this, and how much gold have you accumulated? We're getting closer to the batteries. How much gold have you accumulated in all? Well, over the years, I think I've probably at least gotten close to an ounce. But that has also been from the process of having to be completely ignorant about gold, and then having to go through the process of buying a pan, selecting a pan. And that's not a pan, by the way, that's a battery. We've got some more comments coming in. But having to go from the ground up and learning everything. A lot of it I learned by myself. A lot of it I tuned into a channel called Ask Jeff Williams. Now, I think a lot of you might know that channel. Some of you might not. But take a moment and just maybe open up another browser. And I want you to type in Ask Jeff Williams, okay? And it'll come up with Jeff Williams content. It's like he's a geologist. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's absolutely fantastic at what he does. He gets a ton of gold. So subscribe to Jeff Williams. He's amazing. I learned a lot from Jeff. And so basically, all of this is a culmination of over a decade's worth of having to start from the ground up, not knowing anything, working my way up, and finally getting to the stage of where I've built my very own trommel. And to me, that is the be-all and end-all. That's the pinnacle of gold mining to me, is the trommel. I think that's the greatest recovery method. It might not sometimes be the quickest. Sometimes the quickest is a high banker, but trommel is really the best for me because it just saves my hands, and I'm getting older and I'm not as strong as I used to be, so it just saves our hands. Anyway, I'm going to stop running my mouth. We're going to turn on the trommel and we're going to see how it works. thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate your support. It's just fantastic. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful thing for me today. Okay, we're gonna turn the camera around. All right, let's get this out and running. Now, I'm going to be handing out some more of these wonderful wrenches to people who are on here supporting. And I think you'll all be a very good community. I think it's going to be excellent. Okay, so let's turn this thing on. I'm going to try and read some comments as I go along. I have to use the voice chat. Sorry, sometimes it doesn't come out right. I didn't mean to say, oh, that's okay. That's all right, Mike. Now, I'll tell you what, Mike, you've been so damn good. I'm gonna give you a standard moderator wrench there. You are now one of my moderators. Fantastic. All right. So we got some more supporters on here, and I'm going to be going back through the chat and handing out these wrenches if you want them, and you can select that if you want it, or if you can not do it if you don't want to do it. It's all good. Anyway, so let's turn this thing on, and we're going to talk about it as it's running. All right, positive connection and negative. Are you ready? 1, 2, go. Okay, so I'll have to raise my voice a little bit because the problem is this thing can get a little bit loud. But we want to start by talking about the working principle of a trommel. What is it designed to do? Well, to my understanding, without looking on Google or AI or anything like that to give me an explanation, it saves my hands. This thing is built to save my hands, to save me time, and to save me my back, my knees, a whole lot of effort that I would normally have to be putting in if I'm just working with a pan. So, that to me is what a trommel does. What is the action of a trommel? What is the working principle of a trommel? Well, the working principle is that you can feed material in like this, much larger unclassified material. And what I mean by unclassified is that you are not scaling down the material, or you're not sieving down the material. You're just taking whatever you can find and putting it in your hopper up here. Now, what's a hopper? A hopper, to my knowledge, without looking on any sort of thing to figure it out for me, is a means by which to feed the material into your trommel. So basically, sometimes it can be like this, a very rudimentary feeding device. Sometimes you can have it pretty elaborate with spray bars and that kind of thing. But I find this is the best for me because I can just kind of slot it in as if I would be like on a tank or something, slotting in like a missile. So basically, I got my material here. I'm getting ready to load the tank, and I can just basically shove all that in. What that happens, you come up here, and you'll see the action that occurs. The repetitive lifting and falling action inside on the paddles creates a type of grind. If you have a lot more material in there, let's try and put the rest of this in there to kind of see that. I want to feed a good lot of material to show you this lift and fall grinding action that happens. Okay, creepy dummy's got to go. That's okay, man. All good. Okay. All right. Let's see. Spinning. Okay. So that lift and fall action is very important to liberate the gold. From the material you put in there, from the dirt, from the clay, all that has to be done somehow. And if you don't use a trommel, you have to do it with your hands. This is why it saves your hands. We'll load that in there and watch again. And down here, you can see where all of the material is becoming sieved through the screen. So it reduces the size of the dirt, of the material that you feed in. Exactly, Valentine. Why is that important? Well, there's a number of things going on. I'm just going to stop the trommel for a moment to talk about that. As the material gets fed through on the hopper and it comes into contact with these paddles, the material is lifted into the air and it falls just about right on that one, just as you saw just a moment ago. That lift and fall action coming down to about here. What happens is these rocks sitting there will grind against themselves. So you have a lift and fall action, which is spreading out the material. And when it falls, you have a crashing action that can also liberate gold. But then on top of that, you have a grinding action where rocks are grinding against themselves, grinding the clay between the rocks, which helps to liberate the gold. And then finally, we get down here and the screen separates the large rocks from the small rocks, and that will run down underneath into a slurry system where your gold gets processed further from there. And your tailings, hopefully, end up on this end. So that's pretty much the working principle. It's a way designed to liberate gold far quicker than, say, possibly even a high banker or a sluice, and much more efficiently. Okay, so now that we kind of understand the working principle behind the trommel itself, let's have a look at the gearbox. And I know that everybody's dying to see what the gearbox is doing and how that's set up. Okay, someone asks, how much for one of these machines? Well, that's a good question. At the moment, I'm up to about probably $1,000 invested just in putting these things together. And that's simply because also the bulk of the cost came from these guys here. These are centrifuges. They're all ready to go to be transformed into trommels. That cost about $300. The motor itself, probably $250, so call that $300 as well. The battery is about $115. The plywood, let's say probably $50 for that. The one of the most important things, how are you going to move the thing? Just sitting on a wheelbase there. Probably about $40 used. But the overarching idea behind all of this is you want to build yours as cheaply as you possibly can. Why is that? Number one, we take things like recycled culvert pipe here that would otherwise go into a landfill. Bits of 55-gallon barrels that would also end up probably in a landfill. Broken up carts and things that normally people would throw away, or they would just have sitting around doing nothing. Things that are rusting, maybe sometimes even falling apart. We have a milk crate here. We have a bit of PVC pipe up here. And we have some very cheap wheels from a hardware store. All these things combined are very cheap. They're things that are readily found. And, but that's what you want to shoot for. You don't want to be going around spending $3,000–$4,000 on Trommel that you might not ever recover your cost with. You got to get in the mindset of building stuff cheaply, because the other thing is, if you take it out and you get it stolen, somebody tries to roll you for it, well then you've lost $5,000 instead of $1,000. Do you see my logic here? You know, because sometimes you got to go out and do these things on your own. You're a solo operator, right? You're a solo operator, so you got to make it lightweight. You got to make it lightweight. You got to make it not gigantic. You got to make it something that you can take and pull around with a handle like this. I'll show you. See what I'm doing? I can pull that around with me wherever I go. Sometimes I go to the park with this thing, walking around. Sometimes I go into the mall walking around with my Trommel. People give me funny looks, but I'll go just, hey, I'm the one getting the gold. Right? Don't judge me for my Trommel. Okay, come here. Let's have a look at this gearbox, because I know people are dying to see it. And my phone's dying. So I need to get my battery pack. Where's my battery pack? We got to look at this. We have to look at this gearbox, because this gearbox is important. Da, da, da. Look at that. Now I'm going to talk about this in a minute, guys. But first, we've got to go find this battery pack, because if we don't find the battery pack, you might not get to learn about the Trommel, and that'll be horrible, because the phone's going to shut out. And I haven't harnessed the power of telekinesis to charge my phone battery with my brain, so we're going to have to make way and find this battery pack. We got to hurry. I'm out of shape. Big time. You're trying to build a gold washing machine. That's pretty much what you're trying to do. Okay. Found the battery pack. Okay. So we now have about, yeah, I'm serious. That's what you want to do. Your mission is to build a gold washing machine. Now, obviously, you can't put dirt in your washing machine, because if you do that, you're going to clog it up. It's not going to work that way. Right? You've got to just have it to where you're thinking about the principle of it all. Oh, here come the trolls. We got Sweaty Ball Sack. Come on, man. Find something better to do with your time. Jeez. You're gone. Lean Bear. Yeah. We got Matt in the house. All right. Just, oh, come on now. C-Mo, then the rest. Okay, you're gone. Hidden on channel. Ooh. Ooh. Front load washers. Okay, we got some people supporting coming back in. That's really good. Anyway, good thing is we got power now. So we're gonna get to talk a little bit more about the Trommel. How you going, Matt? Where are you at, man? Where's the moderator button? I need my mods. I'm trying to find the moderator button. I can't sing popular songs on here because if I sing popular songs, that means I'm gonna get deplatformed. Okay, all right, so big nuggets of gold. Where is Matt? Where are you at? Oh, here we go. All right, moderator. Yep, sent that through. You should be a mod now. Lean Bear. Ew. Kevin, you got some problems, son. I'm gonna have to hide you from the channel. Ew. Ernest goes to school head. I am an earnest looking motherfucker, aren't I? Ernest goes to hell. Ernest saves Christmas. Shh. I am an earnest looking motherfucker. I'll say that much. Yeah, ready to smack some bots. Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Jenny Jones said hi. Hello, how are you? We got Amber Sakura. Cool, cool. Everybody's talking amongst themselves. Oh no, we got somebody from the USA giving me a thumbs down and big shit things on here. All right. I've read some comments. We've got some trolls. The bullshit's getting thick. So now I'm gonna have to break out the bullshit glasses. I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it. What are the bullshit glasses, you ask? You're gonna see them very soon. The bullshit's getting thick. So I'm gonna have to put on my bullshit glasses. Oh Lord. That way it can help me to better see through the bullshit and get to the people who are supporting. Now I can see you just fine. All right. We can see the bullshit. We can see the support. And yeah, these are not beer goggles. They're, I can see just fine. I can see a whole lot better now. Okay. I'm gonna have to wear these until the bullshit stops. So Bear with me. Okay. What is going on in the chat? All right. Here we go. Now, for those of you who are serious viewers and you're interested in what's going on, I really do apologize. I'm going to try to not have too much shenanigans on this thing because there are people who genuinely want to learn, and I want to make sure that you have every opportunity to do so because times are getting hard. People want to find gold. They want to find more gold. So let's talk about this gearbox. What is this for? What is the working principle of a gearbox? Vicky, you are absolutely correct. It is a rock tumbler. Christian Fernando said hi. Okay, very cool. Am I a scientist? Not really. Of sorts. Okay, let's talk about this. It's a rock tumbler. Vicky, you're absolutely correct. So how do we tumble rocks without using our hands? How do we save our backs, our hands, our fingers, the very fiber of our being? How do we save that? Well, we have to turn a centrifuge. How do we do that? We can do it one of two ways, or two ways, actually. We can have a system that is direct drive, that has our motor at this end of the trommel, with a steel rod coming through that attaches to the inside of the centrifuge that is directly driven from a motor such as this. That's one way. The other way, which is a much more efficient way, but a little bit more complicated, is on the pulley system. Let's talk about, first of all, the advantages and disadvantages of both. If you have a direct drive system, your advantages are you do not have to rely on belts to pull your centrifuge to get your gold. All you have to rely on is making sure you get the correct amount of newtons of force, your torque, to be able to turn the amount of material. The disadvantages of having a direct drive system for your trommel is that you have to have a very seriously heavy-duty worm gearbox inside of your motor to turn that. And if you don't, your motor is going to seize up and you're going to burn it out and you're going to be in big trouble. That's the disadvantage of a direct drive system. So, now let's talk about the pulley system here. The pulley system utilizes a belt to turn the centrifuge on a series of drives and tensioners, pretty much. In this case, we have a drive pulley that drives the belt around, and the tensioner gets pushed down to put tension on the belt to turn the centrifuge. It's a very simple design process. What's the advantage of that? The advantage is you get to amplify the torque of your motor by some order of magnitude. I'm not exactly sure what, but it drastically improves the amount of torque that you get. The torque output is a lot higher than you would having a direct drive system. Now, I know I have some engineers in the room right now tonight, and I want you guys to chime in and refine this for me because I'm not exactly sure about everything I'm saying. And I know I'm saying some things wrong, but I would like you all to chime in with your valued input on this matter while ever I'm discussing the disadvantages of a pulley system. The disadvantages of a pulley system is conversely that you will have to rely upon belts and you may have to replace them from time to time. The learning curve is a little bit steeper than a direct drive system when building your gold trommel. Placement, having to build a housing around the entire apparatus is a little bit more challenging. Understanding, wrapping your head around the concept of a pulley system is a little bit more challenging. You have to not indulge in alcohol while you do these things, because if you're up here messing around and you put your hand in between this, you can end up slicing off a few fingers. So safety is also another concern, doubled, amplified when you have pulley systems. You have to know what you're doing. Now, I don't want to scare anybody away from actually doing a pulley system if that's something you choose to do. I do highly recommend it. You can do it. It's not that complicated. If you can visualize how this thing might turn another wheel, might turn a belt, might turn this thing on other wheels, and put it all together, you can do it. All right, so enough me talking about this. Let's see the drive belt in action. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to read some comments before I turn it on. So who we got here? I'm going to pull up here a little bit. Okay, so. All right. Is this real? Yes, it's definitely real. I'm very much real, Chance. Or is it Chauncey? Chauncey. Has anyone ever seen that movie? It's called Being There. It has Peter Sellers and somebody else in it, but he's the main star. But there's a very powerful, important message in that movie at the very end. Whenever Peter Sellers walks out onto the lake, because Peter, or Chauncey Gardner, doesn't know any better. He's what they would class as an invalid back then. He believed that nothing would happen when he walks onto this water. It was just of no consequence. He just thought, okay, I'll just walk onto this water. He's special, right? So he just walks out onto the lake like nothing. And it has this moment where the narrator goes, at some stage, because it's during a funeral, he's just walking out on this lake. And it just ends with the scene that goes, life is a state of mind. That's exactly what you have. Life is a state of mind. It's all a state of mind. It's what you believe in. Now, obviously, if he'd walked out onto that lake, he would have drowned in any normal parameters. But you got to kind of revel in that, and you got to say to yourself, if I believe in something, I can make it happen. That's what we're doing here today. All right. We're believing in ourselves, or believing in this process. How did it get off on that tangent? Let's keep reading comments. Okay. All right. So Ernie Duval says, it's not when you're taking on the job with your motor is going to seize up and you're going to burn it out and you're going to be. Is my nose running? That's awful. I think Ernie meant well with that comment. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes, you're right. It is going to wind me up there. This is so awesome. We're like pages and pages down now. I talk too much. Yes, I do. Being where? Pre-recorded bullshit, Santos says. That's offensive, somebody says. My man, that's why I don't indulge in alcohol at all. James Smith, you're a very, very good, good way of thinking. Jeremy Reynolds says, how's it daylight at 12 a.m.? I don't know, man. It's been daylight for so long. It's a continual loop of daylightness. And I don't know, because if it's nighttime, if you're seeing nighttime, that must mean there's like some kind of a rift or paradox, because not everywhere is the United States, unfortunately. We do have different time zones, but anyway, cool. Let's get into the pulley system. Let's have a look at it, and let's see what goes on with that. Enough being a twat. All right. turn this on. We're going to show you the working principle behind the pulley system, which is what I believe in. Now, are we kind of seeing what this action is doing? Can we understand the concept? It's pretty basic. And I don't say that as a rhetorical question. I don't mean that to be condescending in any way. I mean to ask that by, does everyone get, are we on the same page? Because if we're not, I'm happy to explain it a bit further. So here we have the drive motor that is essential. What is this motor, do you ask? Well, this motor here is a windshield wiper motor, but it's not any average windshield wiper motor. This is a windshield wiper motor that was designed probably for a tank or something like that. It has 100 newtons of force that it can deliver. Now, I'm not saying that you have to get one of these. I got one of these simply because I needed the most powerful motor I could get that could run off of a DC battery. That's essential for quiet, silent operation. From the motor, we have from the first shaft point here, another shaft that is connected. It has a bolt ran through the output shaft that is then connected to an M8 size groove on a bar. It goes all the way through this pulley wheel here, the drive wheel. And it's all connected, that runs right directly through. This here is simply a mount to prevent or to lock the pulley wheel in place. It runs directly through. And these bolts here, they are sandwiching the pulley wheel, the drive wheel, in place so it doesn't move. The belt that's connected runs directly upwards and over the centrifuge itself, and you will notice that the centrifuge has grooves cut out all through it because it's a bit of culvert pipe. So that locks it into place. Whenever it's turning idly, without any load inside, it will turn freely. But whenever there's a load involved, you'll see that we stall. And this is why it's essential then to have a tensioner wheel, a tensioner pulley here, so that we have less of a problem with stalling. And that can be actuated to whatever degree we choose. And now it's much harder to stop the engine, to stop the motor. This is very simple design for the gearbox. The complicated thing is on your own specific journey, on your build, you have to figure out where you want to place any of this and how you want to have it set up. For me, not knowing anything, I opted to make it as rudimentary and as basic as possible. So we're talking 2x4s, marine ply to slightly elevate where the engine sits in relation to where it's connected, the placement of the pulley itself, the tensioner arm, and the motor needs to be able to have ventilation so that it can breathe, so it's not going to blow out. Okay, so we've got some engineers in here that are chiming in and letting me know exactly what these things are called. And I really do appreciate you guys being here. I value your input. I do appreciate it. Okay, so as we take a look around the other side, the most simplest parts of this entire thing are the little drive wheels themselves, the little, and somebody help me out with that. These are little wheels, and as far as I'm concerned, they're a kind of drive wheel. They allow the centrifuge to drive on the system. So that's essentially it. Yes, besides the tensioner, yes, thank you, Matt. Caster wheels, that's right. Ernie Duvall, thank you. Idle wheel, yes, we have these terms coming in here that have eluded me from a long time, so thank you very much for cluing me in on that. I do appreciate that, and I value your input. Bearing wheels, idle wheels. Absolutely. And so again, we zoom out and we have a look at the system as a whole. Steve Vaughn, that's a good question. Sometimes I don't know myself. I think this is a gold trommel, but I think it might be slowly realizing itself, just as the world is realizing itself. So I thank you for your question. Thank you so much. The drive wheels have power directly to them. These guys, the caster wheels, no. All they do is sit there and allow for the centrifuge to rest on top. Tumbling, composting, yes. So I'm hoping that some of this makes sense to you all if you would like to build your own, even if it is for composting. That's another good thing that you could make out of that. This is a great little composter. Let's feed a little bit of material. And here we see the action again. Lift and fall, the drag and the grinding. And perhaps the greatest thing about this trommel is that you do not have to be an engineer. You don't have to be very cluey at all to build one. Exactly. Trommel gold for prospecting. Yes, thank you, Matt. Yes, same setup as a dryer. That's correct. Absolutely, absolutely, Denny. Thank you so much. Archimedes screw rotary screen drive sieve, Mike Pluma says. That's actually a really good point. I could possibly make something like that, or like a reverse helix on the inside. Doesn't it need more filters for classifying? That's a good question, Hugh. At the moment, for this particular trommel, we have a 5mm screen that just allows the material to break down into relatively fine stuff, just about like that. And the reason I chose 5mm for the screen is simply because at the rate of feed that I want to be able to run through the machine, I think I'm going to require it to clear out a little bit quicker through the screen than something smaller. I'm finding that this is working pretty well though. The woven wire on a 5mm is not too bad. Thank you, Philippe. That's a good use for it, Steve. That's a fantastic use for it. I think I might try that. And it's a very good question, Hugh, because this was one of the most difficult decisions that I had to arrive upon, is what size mesh to go with. I built a classifier before, which is probably, that might be what, 2mm? But this would be if I had a spray bar. Because I don't have a spray bar, it's more of getting the classified slurry to come through for further processing. But this fella here might just come at a later date for just a little bit more fine processing. But that's one of the hardest decisions to make, is figuring out what sort of screen size that you want. And this is where, if you are looking for gold or anything, doing your homework on finding out what type of material that you're actually dealing with. Unfortunately for me, I have to deal with a lot of clay where I work. And the trade-off is, if you have too small a screen size, it's going to clog relentlessly. And that was just one of the defining moments where I just said to myself, it has to be a little bit larger than I would have liked. Okay, so hi Brandon. You guys are being so fantastic. Thank you all so very much. So Q says, if you make the screen interchangeable, you could just run it through multiple times. That's actually a good point. That is a very good point, Hugh. I didn't actually think of that. That's actually a very good idea. Thank you for that. We have Deceived Place, who says hi. Alex Mull says hi. Thank you all so very much for being here. You are so fantastic. So, we'll have another look over here on the pulley system that we've created. Very basic, very rudimentary. Now, there is one thing about the placement as well that you would need to consider when building your trommel. Some people suggest placing the pulley drive on top of the machine. However, in my experience, when I tried to do that with this one, it would involve me building another frame on top here to place the drive system, to place the wheel and the pulley system, and having a brand new mechanism. But also, there's something to be said about it having to lift the weight of the material upwards against gravity, against the force of gravity, that would have probably put a bit more strain on the motor than was practicably necessary. Some people suggested putting the pulley system underneath, which has a downward force of pulling for the belt, or at least the motor, in some way. Also, this came up with its own set of gravity-related issues with regard to tension and also friction. By meaning of which, you'll notice this wheel is not coming into contact with this because we don't have a load in there. But once we have a load, that will come in contact with this wheel. You see? So I opted for the side to reduce as much friction as possible, a side-mounted pulley system, because from the side, it seemed to me that would create the least amount of friction on the wheels, and we are not having to fight against gravity, yet roll along with gravity. So if we picture ourselves having to lift a centrifuge, a heavy centrifuge upwards against the force of gravity off the ground directly upwards, as in a top-mounted scenario, we're having to fight against the force of gravity. Conversely, if we have to push down against the ground, we are having a friction issue. So I'm trying to roll that against friction, and that's not allowing me to do that as free as if I would just come from the side and work with gravity, work with the forces of nature to be able to achieve an end result. So this is how I arrived at my reasoning to place the pulley mount on the side. Hi, Robert Earl. Thank you very much for stopping in. So now, some of this stuff might be a bit boring to you all, but when you start off on your journey to making your own trommel or your composter, these are some things you might want to consider to running an efficient system. And I'm not saying that this is an efficient system. I'm still learning about it myself. But common sense would tell me that from the very beginning, from the very initial concept, you do not want to be fighting the forces of gravity. You want to be working with the ebb and flow of the natural forces that surround us, gravity, friction, tension, and also maintenance as well. The maintenance that I would have to do or perform if this drive system was mounted underneath the trommel, it would take a lot longer because I'm having to get up under something and I'm having to lay down to actually get it. Conversely, on top, it's going to make the thing top heavy, which, you know, I have to have more parts mounted and more maintenance. A side-mounted system seems to be the most logical, even though it's not the most ergonomic. It makes the trommel wider, but what it does is it gives me easy access to integral parts of the system that I might need to replace or perform maintenance on. And it's just a very simple way. So I think that's very important when you set out to build something or to do anything. Take a while to consider it, and take a while and say, we don't want to just rush this. We want to work with the forces. We want things to flow and be as less complicated as possible. So I really do appreciate everyone's comments and your support. So Michael Hanley asks, we have Nick. This is hi. Dees, is this a mini trommel? Yes, it is. Michael, okay. Michael Hanley says, is there a spring on the idler pulley? No, there's actually not. And that's a good point. That's a good point. I was going to opt for a spring, but then I thought to myself, because some of the material that I want to run on the idler pulley, or sorry, some of the material I want to run through the trommel can become so heavy, I often need for this not to simply ride on it like a spring would. A spring would offer a little bit more tension, but do you see how that's simply riding on the belt? I needed something that I can say, well, I'm going to lock you in to maximum tension, and I can take my wrench and I can lock that into place. So that's kind of why I opted to just have it on a bolt there. Okay, so where are you? Where are you from? I can't figure out the accent. I'm originally from the United States. Hugh? Yeah. I've been here for a very long time, so my accent is somewhat mangled, but I'm very happy with it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you. Don't subscribe says, what's a trommel? You ask what a trommel is. Well, I'm happy to answer that. Very much. A trommel, to my understanding, to me, is a way for me to save my hands when trying to find stuff that looks like this. It's a way for me to save my hands and save my back and ultimately save time. That's what a trommel is to me. Now, the working principle of a trommel is actually, it does 3 or 4 things. And ideally, it'll do more than that. But you take your material that you dig from the ground, just like this, and you load it up in your hopper, just up here, like this, and you feed it into this big turning centrifuge or barrel, and you'll see what happens. This continuous lift and fall action here causes the material to break up and separate and liberate the gold from the clays and the dirt and the mud. And these large rocks come out the other end, but before they do, the smaller rocks are fed down through the screen. And this is where we're able to sieve the material, but it's not just about sieving, it's also about the rocks and the clays grinding up inside, liberating very fine gold that we would otherwise have to do with our hands. And sometimes that can ruin our hands if we do it for too long. And from there, we have a little chute that comes out this end. And that can supply a sluice, that can supply another trommel, that can supply a high banker or anything. We can also put a little mat down here to catch the gold. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a bit of like a gold washing machine. It's a rock washing machine. And I appreciate that question. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very cool. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We've got a great community here, and we've got a good lot of people that are very interested and engaged in what's happening. And if anyone has any questions, definitely don't be afraid to ask me, because I'm quite happy to answer you, and sometimes several times, if no one's being a smartass about it. So I do appreciate you all tuning in. So why did I build the Trommel? I built the Trommel because I'm getting older, and I'm not able to do things like I used to be able to do, and it just helps me to just keep doing what I'm doing and feel good about myself in the process, you know. There's a very, I want to talk a little bit about the differences between some different types of trommels. This trommel here was designed in the classic sense of what a trommel is. If you ever watch the show Gold Hunters, or on the Discovery Channel, they've got Tony Beats with his trommel, and he's got several different types of trommels. But the one that he collected from a part of his property that was on there or something, I can't remember how he acquired this trommel, but it was a gigantic trommel. It was about 400 meters long or something like that. But this trommel was designed essentially the same as this trommel is designed. We have the intake, which is pretty rudimentary. We have the hopper, which is pretty rudimentary on Tony Beats' trommel. And we have the paddles inside that are agitating material and getting the material to grind up and to liberate the gold and release the gold down the sluice. But for the exit, we have a basic screen as well. But the thing that drew me mostly to why Tony Beats' trommel was important was the simple fact that on the inside, there were not perforated holes everywhere. The material had time to sit in water and either be sprayed or churn around inside the water, just much like a washing machine. And that to me was important for a number of reasons, because number one, where I am is there's not a lot of water to be had. And you have to try and conserve as much water as humanly possible. This trommel was designed to retain all the water inside of the centrifuge for a period of time. You can see we got a little friend floating around down here, kind of quietly stuck in there. That's fine. So that the material could be thoroughly washed. To enhance that, we have something here which is called a retention ring. This does two things. When the retention ring is installed, it will hold both liquid and solid. The importance behind, stop the machine for a moment. The importance behind holding the material back is that you have a longer processing time without necessarily having to have a longer centrifuge. We have a relatively short centrifuge. This is about probably maybe 3 feet long. However, with the running angle that we're at, we're relatively flat when we run the trommel. This allows us to retain water even without the water retention ring. But running flat also has its downside of where if you run it too flat for too long and you don't have a decent inflow of water exiting the material off the end, you can have the system backing up and eventually resulting in the machine stalling, which is what you don't want. So, running the trommel at a decent angle, a very slight angle, maybe 3 degrees or 5 degrees tilted forward towards the end, and having one simple retention ring here to hold back the material. What I mean by that, just there, and I'll turn the trommel back on so you can see that happening. You will see that we retain and we're able to wash thoroughly. Yes, you're absolutely right, Hugh. It will retain the gold as well. In my experience, I have flushed out a lot of fine gold still having the retention ring in. But you're absolutely right. Towards the end of the run, I have found out that there is still a little bit of gold stuck just in behind the retention ring, and also some in front. But that's a very good point. At no time when you build your trommel do you want gold to be staying inside the machine for very long. You want it to exit out onto your screen, and from there exit down into your sluice system. So I'm going to turn the trommel back on, and let's see exactly what the retention ring, this very rudimentary retention ring, will do. So we still have a bit of material for a briefer amount of time, maybe a little bit longer, still held back inside the centrifuge. And whenever there's water inside, that too will retain itself and help to wash the material as it's flowing over. Matthew Allen Murphy, you're absolutely right about that. The power of believing. I can and I will. Alex Moretti, thank you. Mo, I'm not sure I can do that. I think that's one thing this thing won't run, is a fart. Well, what do you think, Mo? Do you think you can? I think I can get some gold with this. I'm not after some BTCH. I'm after gold. I'm after this stuff. Right? That's what we're after. And I want to show you guys how to make your own, but I have people on here that are saying some silly things, and I don't mind you being silly. Hell, I'm fucking silly myself. But just keep it to a bare minimum, you know. Welcome to the channel, Mo. Just keep it, keep it to a minimum. Hugh says, fine gold and tiny nuggets is all we get by me. Yeah, that's cool. It's fine by me as well. I'm happy to get even just super fine gold or fine gold. It doesn't matter. It's all gold. It's all good. KO Tim, very good. You're interested in learning. I'm glad you're interested in learning. And I'm on planet Earth. How much is it worth? Rapid rotation. At the moment, I've put about $1,000 into it to get it running. The bulk of the money cost to buy, because I had to buy bulk. I had to buy bulk centrifuges. But a lot of these things can be turned into trommels. The amount that I have with the gold, how much is it worth? It's worth about $100. Yeah, it's worth about $100. Thomas Easter says hi. Thank you very much for joining the channel. I really do appreciate you being here, Thomas. Thank you, Rapid Rotation. Yes, the amount of gold, it's worth about $100. And isn't that funny, you know? I remember the first time I found gold, and it just seemed to me that immediately I was going to be rich. I thought for sure I found a speck of gold. This thing must be worth $1 million. That's what happens. But then you learn about the process. Exactly. / a lot of effort for so little profit. Exactly. That's the name. That's what it is. But you've got to love it, you know. You have to love it, because sometimes that little bit of profit can take a whole new turn, and you can be running material that gives you that amount every day. And when you get that every day, then you're like, okay, now I remember why I'm doing this. Now I remember why I sweat and strain and have to get out there and dig like a maniac. It reminds you it can be just around the corner. Success can be just around the corner. And sometimes it's not that far around the corner. Sometimes it's within an inch further of where you're digging. Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is a lot of work for that amount. But this gold, believe it or not, was not found with this trommel. This trommel has only seen pay dirt that is not very rich. The gold in this pan did not come from this trommel. The gold in this pan came from panning. Can you imagine what's going to happen when we get this thing on some proper pay dirt and we have it set up to where it's clearing off properly, it's recovering well, and very efficient? Can you imagine what's going to happen then? My cousin does that, and he has to pay fees for digging up people's land. He's in Africa now. Oh, that's cool. It's called dedication, vision, and foresight. Yes, you're absolutely right, Matt. You're absolutely right. And guys, if you haven't already, I would like you to find Lean Bear's channel and subscribe to Lean Bear. He's a fantastic musician. He has so much insight into the recording process and song making and the existential bits of knowledge and wisdom about audio recording and the entire songwriting process and things like that. It's just an excellent source to tune into. So if you guys wouldn't mind, check out Lean Bear's channel and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate that. We've got some people from Korea in here, and we've got Matt here helping out with the Korean. Thank you so much for facilitating that. We got Mike Hayes. He says hi. Okay. Mur Slimy says, that real sunlight? Yes, it's definitely real sunlight. I'm hoping it is. Hope it's not counterfeit sunlight. Oh, what you mean by is the gold? Yes, this is definitely real gold. I never heard it called sunlight before, but that is definitely real gold. And I get all that from where I get it. So yeah, good question. Thank you very much. My cousin will take samples on land. He'll use that to see if he wants to dig more, and other guys will come in to try and take what he's got. It's dangerous work. Rapid rotation, you could not be more correct about that. It is very dangerous work. This is why whoever you go with to prospect, you got to be able to trust them with your life, because such is the mystique and power of gold and of diamonds and of precious minerals and things. People can very, very easily lose their life over it. So it is no laughing matter in that regard. You have to be able to trust whoever you work with down to a T. Absolutely. And this is generally why I choose to work on my own. And this is built behind that principle of working as a sole miner to be able to recover as much gold as possible, as quickly as possible, in a one-man operation or one-woman operation. We have just as many female prospectors and miners as we do male ones. So we have Rhino Art that says, I'm glad I stopped here. I just started with metal detectors and it's worth it. I always come back with something. It's fun. I'm old but by myself, disabled. Rhino Art, my heart goes out to you. I think that's just a wonderful thing, that you can get back into the metal detecting. It's a very effective way to find gold, and it's fun. It gets you out of the house, and it gets me out of the house, and I feel like I can face the world. I feel like I can have a good day, even if I'm not having a good day. If I'm outside doing gold, I'm always having a good day, even if it's not a good day on the gold. So I appreciate you stopping by. Kel Tim says, I'm not understanding where it collects the gold. I'm gonna show you that. We collect the gold in the mat. It should be sitting up there, but the mat's not sitting up there at the moment. We have a tailing chute where the gold will be collecting just here. You see? But normally, whenever there's water, that water will shoot the gold down the tailing chute, either into our pan or into some other apparatus like a sluice. Good question. We have John Jakes, I think it's Jakes Goslin. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go a bit further down here. Okay, we have Gugu for you. It says hello from Nova Scotia, Canada. We have Canada here. We have Montreal, and which is in Canada. So we have a lot of Canadians here tonight. Wonderful, fantastic. Is it hard to find? Delgado says, it can be. This machine is symbolic of a culmination of about a decade of a work in progress to be able to locate the gold. And the funny thing is, we're only getting started. Even after 10 years, we're only getting started finding where the best gold is. So thank you. It is very hard, but it's also very rewarding, and not in the way that people might suspect. Sometimes it's not about the gold. Oftentimes it's not about the gold itself, it's about the process. And it's about the friends you make along the way. It's about the people's lives that you can inspire and who can inspire you. It's about triumph over one's own doubt. And sometimes it's about the most miserable times you can possibly have. But it's all things that can build your character, and it's all things that can even possibly save your life. So I highly recommend it. So is gold hard to find? Yes, it is. But if it wasn't hard to find, it wouldn't be sending people like me, completely insane, building a contraption like this in a quest to find it. So thank you for that question. Yes, it's hard to find, but I love it and I enjoy it. And I think I always will. So we have Kumquat Captain says, just like Gollum with Smeagol. That's right. He has to find the precious. He's got to find the gold. Mary Brown says, nice. Delgado says, I built it. Yes, I did. Yep. Raphael says, hi, where are you? I'm on planet Earth, Ryan. And I think you might be too. Have you gotten any gold? I sure have, Rishi. Have a look. This is some beautiful stuff. And I'm so glad you all are here to see it. We've got a little bit of black sand in there as well, which is fantastic. And we have some super fine gold up there as well. but it's all very, very worthwhile. And I'm so happy you guys are here to see it. Telson Ferguson says hi. Tony says hi. Hi, thank you guys. Mary Brown asks, where are you up north? I'm in Niagara. Some of you guys might be talking in and amongst yourselves. It's fine. I'm just reading comments. I'm definitely on planet Earth. So Rishi, that mean no, basically. Sounds like a no gold getter. Rishi John. I'm sorry to hear that, Rishi. That's definitely not the case. I am getting gold with this machine. It's just simply that I'm not on the correct kind of pay dirt at the moment, because I'm still having to get to the spot where I'm trying to do. There's a lot of overburden that I have to move to get to the pay layer. So we'll definitely see some more gold coming out of the machine. But yes, thank you for the critique. But we will definitely be getting gold with this machine. So Rishi, again, you ask, it's supposed to roll, have water passing through, but then drops, but you don't seem to have a shaker to separate. Why no water? Okay, so Rishi, the purpose of this live stream, as you'll notice, we're in a shed at the moment. We're not actually running any pay dirt. This is a little sample of dirt. So this is only for demonstration purposes to inspire people to build their own. But we will be back out, if not tomorrow, possibly the next day, and getting some actual pay dirt ran through. Thank you for the question. Mary Brown says, it's a lost art kind of thing. Yes, it definitely is. That's a good statement. Michael Evans, how does that machine work? Is there a magnet inside? No, I don't have a magnet inside, but what I do have is a magnet sitting here. And the reason why I have a magnet sitting here, that's a fantastic question. The reason I have a magnet sitting here is whatever dirt that I'm running, I want to be coming across things like nails or magnetic rocks that will stick to the magnet, because that's oftentimes an indicator that we are on heavily mineralized soil. And it's not to trap gold, it's as an indicator to tell me what kind of dirt are we working with. So that's the importance of a magnet on this machine. Okay, very cool. And yes, thank you, Rishi. It's very good to that everyone has a very good understanding, and I understand you and my audience, and you guys understand me. So thank you very, very much. Is this machine from the prehistoric times? It definitely looks like a dinosaur. Michael, it definitely looks like some kind of a dinosaur from prehistoric times. I do appreciate that, because sometimes I look at it and yes, it does look like a dinosaur somehow. So thank you. Thank you. Joel, welcome. Welcome. I appreciate you coming in today. Okay, so we have, what time is it there? Califlo, thank you so much for your question. I think it's probably about nearly time for me to go and feed my dogs. And I have some horses down over here. They're not my horses, but I sometimes help feed them, and they've got a little bird that's come along. So I appreciate the question. So it is nearly time for me to go. Thank you very much. Sounds interesting. Are you in the USA? Hi there. Timmy Turner, I'm definitely not in the USA. Good question, though. It sounds like I'm in the USA. The farm looks awesome. Thank you very much. Are you in the US? No, I'm definitely not in the US. But I am definitely on planet Earth. So I thank you. I thank you. New here. Hope everything is doing well. KW, welcome so much to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Well, Anthony, I'm somewhere in the constellation Orion, orbiting a gigantic black hole, which is ton 618 168. or 681, sorry. And the accretion disk around the black hole is ejecting material at a fantastic and stupendous rate, and some of the material is gold bearing. So I'm trying to actually access some of that prehistoric gold from ton 681. So thank you very much for the question. Wobbles, we have wobbles here. Am I in the land down under? I'm actually somewhere in I'm kind of in a parallel universe, so you might be able to divulge where that's from. It says 6:10 p.m. in California. He's not here. He's trying to protect his identity. I can respect that. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. But I certainly am orbiting some sort of a black hole, and you can actually see the accretion disk coming from the gas that's blowing through the planet at this stage. So I do. I'm pretty serious. Ecuador. Nuclear VR says hi VR. Hi Nuclear. Good setup. We do like that in Kelly. Fantastic. That's excellent. It's a very nice, simple setup. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that as well. Philip Flatery says hi. Hi. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, everyone, I'm going to do a quick recap about the Trommel, and I'm going to have to go shortly after because I have to feed my dogs, and I've got to do a few other things. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here, trolls and all, and everyone tuning in. And if you do enjoy this content, please leave a comment on any other one of my videos or whatever you'd like to do. So we're going to do a quick recap here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the working principle and how you might be able to make one of these yourself for under $1,000. Now, the working principle of the Trommel is to save your hands. That's that in a nutshell. It's to save your hands, your back, your knees, and your time. And it's also to get you exponentially more of this stuff. It's as simple as that. Okay, that's what this machine does. It grinds up the material, it breaks up the rocks, it breaks up the clays, and it liberates the gold. That's what it's designed to do. Whenever you design your trommel, you want to make it in such a way. Remember this one thing, KISS, which means that's an acronym for keep it simple, stupid. Or keep it stupid simple, which means that whatever you do, you want your machine to be as basic and rudimentary as possible. Because the more complicated that you make it, number one, it's going to cost you a lot more time, it's going to cost you a lot more money, and it's going to probably cost you some gold as well. What I mean by the last part of that is, the more stuff that you have on the inside of that centrifuge, the more opportunity it creates for that gold to get trapped inside. And there are some few details in some more streams that I'm going to do that's going to go into a little bit more detail about that. So you want to keep it simple. Keep it simple whenever you build your trommel. The other thing is you want to keep it cheap. You want to keep it as cheap as you possibly can, because number one, probably the whole reason you're doing this is because you're broke like me. You want to get out there and you want to find as much of this stuff as you possibly can, because that's going to propel your prospecting career forward in leaps and bounds. You are on a mission to create something out of nothing. You want to adopt the mindset that you are creating a thing of value out of something that is otherwise valueless. For instance, a 55-gallon barrel that's maybe broken, you can give it new life. It's different parts of the machine. You know, we have a tailing slurry, a chute here for the tailings. We have a bit of culvert pipe that's been turned into a centrifuge. It is such an exercise in using your imagination to achieve a professional result. And when you do that, you save so much time, so much money, and you become someone who is able to create these machines and possibly sell them yourself. So you're not just getting gold. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about how you can be a better prospector, how you can build other things that might enhance other people's lives that doesn't have anything to do with gold. Even putting together a pulley system, this was a first for me. I had no idea what I was doing. But my imagination just took hold, and I said, I have to have something turning something, so I'm just going to slap some stuff together. YouTube is a fantastic resource for that, and there are people who will help you figure these things out. I just decided to figure it out on my own because I wanted this to be as original as possible, drawing inspiration from a few other builds that I've seen, but having my own personal and unique spin on what I wanted my trommel to be. And that makes this trommel one of the most important things I have ever made in my entire life. It's more valuable to me than gold. I would never sell this because it's an exercise in both desperation, in desire to find gold, desire to improve my life, and to propel me towards a better way of living. It's symbolic to me, and whatever you build needs to incorporate something special like that to you, I believe. All that's a lot more of the philosophical part of it, but I'm a firm believer that you will value it so much more and so much greater that if it comes from your imagination than if it comes from a cookie cutter a set of plans, or someone else told you to do it. This is merely to give you the inspiration to go out and try it on yourself. All up, this stuff, including these other centrifuges, cost $1,000. Your trommel will ideally cost much lower. Of course, you're going to make these things much more efficient than I ever could. You're going to make it much cheaper than I ever could. And you're going to make them much better than I ever could. So with that, my friends, I really do appreciate you all being here. I do have to go very soon because I have to feed my dogs. But I want to leave you all with this final thought, and I don't want to sound too esoteric, but the choices that you make today will affect your entire rest of your life. And I want to instill within all of you the sense that you can do it. It doesn't matter about what other people say or what other people think. You just have to believe that you can, and you have to overcome a series of triumphs within your own self against your own self-disbelief to get to the stage of where you've proven to yourself that you can rise above. I believe in you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you're stuck in a rut, and I've been there. I'm still there. But I know you can do it, because if I can do it, anybody can. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I didn't finish high school. I didn't go much further academically than what YouTube could teach me. So, this is why I say, if you've got an imagination, you have a desire, and you have a drive, push and push and push and push. And just remember, what you get done today is going to be exponentially taken care of tomorrow. You are going to blaze a path through all of your doubt, and you are going to be able to achieve what you want. But you have to have the single most important component, which is your self-belief. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to try and quickly answer a few of these questions down below, but I do appreciate you all being here. Okay, so where are we at? Are you a gold prospector in a sense? I like to think that I am, Anthony. Thank you. It's okay to be scared, not to tell us gold spots are hard to keep secret. Yep. But you are just using dirt from the farmland or in a specific area. You're doing very well with the whole process. Thank you. Thank you. Lean Bear says, alchemy. Absolutely. Absolutely. In every sense of the word. Thank you, Matt. And guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to Lean Bear. He's got a fantastic channel. And he is very good support when you're doing music and the process of recording. He will walk you through the entire thing. And he is very happy to answer questions and provides much needed insight into the process of recording and audio engineering and songwriting. And he's just an all-around great guy. So subscribe to Lean Bear if you can. And head on over to the channel. Thank you so much. Building something out of nothing, there's no value on that. But I think that I think what you meant was building something, making something of value out of something that doesn't have much value in its initial state or in its state of rest. Yes, I think that's what you meant. Richard wants me to say a funny joke. Oh, I'm not actually a very good comedian, Richard. But thank you anyway. Thanks, bro. The Army is kicking my ass right now. Fitz, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know who the Army is. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but I hope that you come out with the upper hand. Ken says hi. Juan says hi. Wait a minute, what are you doing? I'm trying to show a gold trommel. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. I've got so many more comments. Wait a minute. Well, no, I just read that. What country? For real, what are you doing? Okay, sounds American, but it's dark in the U.S. right now. Have you had a daylight? What country? Yes, it's priceless. Ah, yes. Thank you, Rishi. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant. You're a very good supporter. I appreciate you. Okay, what are you doing? What is the point of this machine? That's a very good question, Kalka. This machine is designed to extract gold from gold-bearing soils and clays. And it does that by us taking raw material, just like this, and in much greater quantity. We feed it through the hopper, like this. And you'll see the big rocks, like this one, come off the side. But we have smaller rocks that contain the gold that come down through the machine. And in a nutshell, that's how the gold trommel works. But I do appreciate you all being here. Anthony, I'm sorry to hear that you feel like shit. I really am sorry. I encourage you, though, if you do feel like finding some gold, you have all my blessing to get out there with a gold pan or a gold trommel or something, or a gold detector, and go and look for some gold. Because remember, it's not merely about the gold, it's about the process of getting out and engaging with nature, getting out and getting your hands wet, getting your hands in mud. So thank you. I hope so. Thank you, Calkin. I appreciate that. Let him go feed his doggos, guys. Love what you do. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Has the mildest Aussie accent ever. I thought he's American. Very cool. Josh Martin, I feel like shit too. Well, Josh, I'm so sorry. I really do encourage you to get out and try some gold. Even if it's that you have to take a trip out of the city or where you are, find out where there is gold. Get yourself a gold pan. They can range anywhere from $10 to $100. I suggest the Garrett Super Sluice. That's just a baby pan there, but a baby pan will work too. But you can overcome depression. You just have to believe in yourself. And I know it's not as easy as that, but you can do it. I believe in you, Josh Martin. Todd A says Bitcoin is better. Well, Todd, I think you might be right about that, but I'm not very good at mining Bitcoin. And I'm a little bit worried about that too. The way that it is, it's a very fickle foundation is what Bitcoin is. But I do applaud you if you're able to get money out of Bitcoin. Okay. Anthony says, okay, no, I'm saying you're making it better. Okay, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. I'm getting a little bit behind on these comments. Mira says, I'm in the golden triangle. That's cool. You catch the gold dust, but where do the nuggets go? I'm hoping the nuggets will fall out there. That'll be good, just on this little thing here. I hope that's a nugget. Okay, so when are you going back out there to find gold? Robert Kittle, I'll be out there probably in the next couple of days, so make sure you tune in, and I'll try and give everyone a shout out that I can. I appreciate it. Okay, I have some text there that's in a different language. I'm not sure exactly. Have you seen a return on your equipment yet? Okay, that's a good question, JB. Now, with this particular trommel, we were out just the other day, and we got a little bit of gold. But because I'm still searching around and I'm still doing test panning, we didn't hit a very rich area. But I'm hoping that the next couple of days is going to yield a much better result, and we're going to try and run the trommel the entire day and maybe do 2 cleanouts tops. So thank you. Good question. I bet if we found some gold, that would make us feel better. Yes, exactly. Gold does make you feel better. How many hours a week on average would you say you do it? Probably, I want to try and run it at least 3 times a week. So you might see me on here 3 times during a normal week, maybe 3 or 4. Thank you. Good question. Much love, my friend. I'm from the UK, so it's 6:18 in time, overdue to sleep. I've subbed. Thank you so much, Stop. I really appreciate you stopping by. Very good. Thank you. Instead of using a machine, they use water to get gold. Yes, they do. Howdy, good sir. Best of luck from me, one prospect to another. Andrew, thank you so much for stopping by, and I wish you the best of luck on your gold journey. I appreciate you tuning in. Hear the accent now, 4,500. Bell. Okay, Mac Python. If in the United States was really paved with gold, how much gold would it take to pave every street in the U.S.? That's a good question. We might answer that one day. That would be a very interesting thing to see. Okay, KF, Cody, John Roscoe, we got Andrew. Yes, we have Euro Thunder. Will you stream your actively gold? Yes, I definitely will, Euro Thunder. We're definitely going to be out probably either tomorrow or the next day. So I really appreciate you being here, and we'll try and get back onto the creek tomorrow. Thank you so much. Randy Lee. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a beautiful evening and day or whatever you're having. And just remember, believe in yourself. Get out there. It's a series of victories over your own self-doubt that you must overcome. And we do it every day, whether we know it or not. But I appreciate you all being here and seeing the gold. and tuning in, and with all your support and all your knowledge, because I'm still learning this stuff. I don't know very much in comparison to all you. You guys seem to know a lot more about this stuff than I do, so I do appreciate you coming by. We got yep. So John says, "Love you." Yeah, John, I'm not a homo. I'm a straight man. So yeah. All right. So we got Black Dog. He says, "I've been gold mining for 40 years, but you're going to lose a lot of gold. No riffles or miner's moss to catch the gold." Black Dog, you are exactly right. You are exactly right. Just to clarify, though, this particular machine has a little tailing chute down here, and what I'm hoping to do is have the gold-bearing material come down this chute into a sluice. But that's a very good question. You have a beautiful day yourself. Oh, fantastic! Thank you, Anthony. And we have what's my method to extract fine gold from black sand? I would recommend simply using a magnet, possibly. I have had some results with that, but I haven't seen much black sand, so, but that might be something to think about. Thanks, good question. We have Randy Lee, we have Luther Marshall. The United States is approximately 6,586,610 kilometers, or 4,090,000 miles of road. Wow. I don't know anything. No, you're not an idiot, Anthony. You're not an idiot. You are on your journey to being a gold miner and a gold tycoon. So you will be there. Fred, we're not here for that, mate. If you want to say that in your own time, you're more than welcome to, but we don't do that shit here, okay? So bye-bye, Fred. You are hidden on this channel indefinitely. Don't come back. Okay, Christian Campo, what state are you in? Let's see. Hey, can you wish my friend a happy birthday? His name is Jordan Eccles. Well, happy birthday to whoever his name is. I appreciate that. Okay, that might work good for you. Thank you so much, Black Dog. Blackie Dog. Very cool. Luther Marshall. It's very important stats that I probably need to look into. That's very cool. Thank you for that, Luther. XYMZ. Much love. Keep it going. We've got Anthony Hightower. These in a very happy state because finding gold. That's very good. Very good, guys. Okay. Now, you all, you've been amazing today. I had so much support and so much help come through within the last couple of hours. I'm really beside myself. I had no idea that I was going to get so many people tuning in to see the Trommel and to talk to me about gold. And we've had some trolls. We've had some funny things happen, and we've had a few tears and all that good stuff. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate and I value the time that we've had today. So I'm gonna go and feed the dogs now and get back to doing some other things. So, but thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you all being here, and I mean that. So you bring value to my life, and I reciprocate that back a millionfold, and that's so much more valuable than gold itself. So thank you all so much. Christian, Anthony, very cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna shoot off now, and I will see you in the next gold stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have a beautiful and blessed day. Hell yeah, brother! I stayed a little longer. That's very cool. Thank you. I like it when people stay longer. That's cool. You're doing good. You're doing good. And you got a lot of patience because I'm long-winded. Thank you, Stop. And DRM, hey, brother, very nice. Good works. When are you going to go live again soon? Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Yeah, what's happening? Okay, good luck. Thank you. I'm getting sucked into the comments still. So thank you. All right. You guys have a beautiful day, night. And just remember, believe in yourself, and you can move mountains, but you might need a trommel, or at least a shovel and a gold pan. All right, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Thank you.